Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Hanin Hannouch and I am the guest curator of the exhibition Slow Color Photography here at Preus Museum in Horten, Norway. I worked on this exhibition with my colleague, photograph conservator Jens Gold, in order to bring you a wonderful show about interferential color photography. What I will be presenting to you today is a glass plate using the interferential color process made by Richard Neuhaus in 1899. It features a stuffed superb parrot. And I have several things that I want you to know about this glass plate, but I will reduce them down to just 3. First of all, I found this glass plate in Berlin while doing my research in preparation for my book about color photography in Imperial Germany. So it goes something like this. I ask all the museums that I think I could find the photographs that I'm looking for there if they have plates made according to the Lippmann process. And if I get lucky, they say yes, and I get to go and look at these beautiful photographs. So I asked the Letterverein in Berlin. The Letterverein was founded in 1866 as an educational and vocational training center for women. It was one of the few places in the German Empire where women could learn to be professional photographers and actually work in the field in order to become a Berufsfotografin. So I thought that, well, you know, photography or color photography is not an exclusive boys' club. So why wouldn't they have a photographer who was a woman who also tried the Lippmann process? But as many of you probably know, the work of women is rarely written down in the history of photography or in the history of anything else. And it is largely thanks to the feminist movement and to photography historians who are susceptible to questions of gender that we know anything today about women in photography. So, lucky me, the reply from the Letterverein was indeed positive. It was not what I had in mind. I had hoped to find Lippmann plates made by women, but I ended up with Richard Neuhaus, who is one of the most important photographers in the German Empire to have practiced the Lippmann process. Yet, I found the glass plate of the stuffed superb parrot along with 2 others in the estate of a teacher who worked at the Letterverein, Ilse Körner. This basically means that Ilse Körner was using the Lippmann plates in order to teach her students, women photographers, about interferential color photography. So there is a transmission of knowledge about physics, about the science of photography, about Gabriel Lippmann's work to women at the time in Berlin. And I hope that it's only a matter of time before more Lippmann plates made by women will be made available to the public, will be found in collections, and maybe even exhibited, in order to make sure that science doesn't remain a boys' club, and especially not color photography. So this is the first thing I want you to know about the plate of the stuffed superb parrot. The second thing that is very important is that the presence of the animal in this image is not a coincidence. The superb stuffed parrot is not a native to Berlin. The animal, the parrot, is not a native to Berlin. It sat on Richard Neuhaus's balcony. And the photographer Neuhaus himself said that he photographed it over 300 times. So a really important question is, well, how did it get to Berlin and who stuffed the parrot? Where was the parrot from? Why is it in Germany at all? There is only one answer to this question, and that is colonialism. Because the superb parrot is in fact native to Papua New Guinea and today to Australia. Richard Neuhaus, who was a doctor of medicine, anthropologist, and photographer, claimed the Pacific as his area of anthropological expertise. So it's not a coincidence that he buys or shoots and kills the animal himself and stuffs it and then photographs it when using the Lippmann process. With the glass plate of the stuffed superb parrot, Richard Neuhaus claims 2 fields of study and of expertise in which he positions himself the most knowledgeable of all, both as an anthropologist who gathered human remains, took a lot of photographs, gathered objects, and brought them back with him to Berlin, and as an expert photographer on color. So two discourses come together when you look at this image. It's not only about color photography. Photography operates in a context, both political and epistemological, and a gender context, and in this case, the context of imperialism, because Papua New Guinea was a colony of the German Empire. And it is important to keep it in mind. And the third thing that I want you to know about this plate is that when you will come to the exhibition and look at it, you will see it in a vitrine. It's 6 by 9 centimeters. And because there are less than 500 interferential color plates in the world, you can understand why we're cautious by putting it in a vitrine. Still, audiences like you who visited museums or who were out and about in Berlin around 1900 saw this plate projected. Neuhaus and many others used projection sessions in the German Empire starting 1894 in order to present their work on color photography. And by presenting, I mean that they presented it to the collective, not just to one person, but in the course of blockbuster events where 500 Berliners went to auditoria in order to look at color photographs. So the small size of the plate exploded, and it became a 2 by 2 meter image that just wowed its audience. So the modalities of viewing color photography today is different, of course, than what people experienced 100 years ago. But it's still no less interesting, which is why, in order to get to know interferential color photography, Richard Neuhaus and Hans Lippmann, I welcome you to Preus Museum.